Welcome to Van Lathan's The Red Pill Podcast, where we give you the brutal reality of truth. Today's guest, Jermaine Dupri. Now, Jermaine Dupri, if you love hip-hop, should need no introduction. He is a rapper slash producer slash mogul slash pretty much everything that you could have done, songwriter, manager, whatever. In rap, he has done it. He is responsible both directly and tangentially for some of the biggest artists in music history. We're talking Criss Cross, Brat, Bow Wow, had a lot to do with Usher's success, was very involved throughout Mariah Carey's career. Obviously had a connection, a working and a personal relationship with Janet Jackson, the head of So Def Music, which was one of the biggest labels in the history of really any genre. Okay, started a wave, started a revolution, hip-hop pioneer, mogul legend, but also a guy who just recently made some headlines for some opinions that he had on a certain type of female rapper, a certain type of female rap. Now, Jermaine is here on the Red Pill Podcast to talk about what he actually meant, what his actual opinions are, and what they aren't, and more broadly on what the state of music as he sees it is right now, not just for female rappers, but for rap, period, the type of rap that he likes, the type of music that he cultivates, and his place in history as being one of the original proponents of female rappers through his relationships with the first female rapper to ever go platinum, who was the Brat. Jermaine is going to talk to us. It's a very open conversation. I challenged him at times on what I believe are some double standards that women are held to, and on some of the things that it seems like he was thinking when he said what he said. I challenged him on some things that I feel like are double standards when we're talking about our women, and on some of the ways that I think maybe the thought and the notions could be evolved a little bit. And he was very game, pushed back. It was a great conversation, pop some pills. Let's get into Jermaine Dupri right now. But before we do, I'm going to do something real quick that I never do. I don't like to segregate the podcast, but I'm going to do that right now. If you are a woman, we appreciate you, we love you, but I'm going to ask you to do something right now. Turn this off for 5 to 7 minutes. Stop watching if you're a woman right now. I need to talk to the fellas for just 5 to 7 minutes. If you're a woman right now, 3, 2, 1, turn it off. Okay, we're good. Fellas, this is directly to you. And I'm talking to y'all because I have to say something here. It's not to all of the fellas, it's to some of the fellas. You know who I'm talking to. Guys, please relax. Relax, fellas. Everything is okay, man. Everything is all good. Relax. Tell you what's making me say this. I put a post up on my Instagram. The post was of a girl dancing, okay? And let's be honest. If you saw this post, her shit was moving. All right? She was in the club. She was shaking it up. She had a flannel covering her butt, but it was moving. She was doing her thing. Culturally, she was dancing in a very proficient way. Let's put it that way. Guy comes up behind her as she's dancing and tries to dance with her, tries to grind on her a little bit. This happens. We see this in other videos. It's the way people dance in different places all over the country. And she doesn't want that. She turns around. She goes, no, you just walk up on me and put your penis on me. That's not a thing. I don't want that. So she turns around and gives him a customer service smile and says, no. That video is funny. That video is funny for the same reason that you laugh. Everyone, all of us fellas laugh when someone jumps up and tries to dunk and gets caught on the front of the rim. It's funny because all of that confidence and then boom, whatever, it's just a funny thing. I'm sure you're hoping that person makes their next dunk. If you're a good person, you should be hoping that person makes their next dunk. And I'm sure that you're hoping that the next girl that guy wants to dance with, that it's all gravy, that she's cool with it and he's cool with it. Not a big deal. Funny video. Curves are always funny. This has happened to everyone. That very situation right there has happened to me before. Okay, it happened to me before. It's happened to people. You know, back at home, yeah, it happens. Now, you put this video up, and I immediately see guys in the comments going, well, If she didn't want him to grind on her, if she didn't want him to dance with her, then why was she there? Why was she dancing like that? My brothers, men, the stewards of families, I still believe the important, integral part to the ascension of our communities and our cultures. The men have to be responsible for so much. Do you have any clue how fucking wild you sound when you say something like that? Do you have any clue how fucking ridiculous you sound when you say these things? She shouldn't have been dancing like that if she didn't want a dude to come up and grind his penis on her. I get it. That's the way it goes in certain cultures. I really do. Where I'm from down in Louisiana, girls dancing, you walk up to her, normally she dances with you. But if she doesn't, that's her fucking business. If that's not what she on, for whatever reason, if she just came out there to dance with her girls, if she just came out there to try out something that she saw, whatever reason, if she not fucking with you like that, then that's her business. You pick it up and you move on to the next one. You move on to, or maybe you don't do that at all. Maybe times have changed. Maybe it's not the 90s anymore where you could, I don't know. But you can't feel that entitled. I'm talking just to my homies now, seriously. Just to the fellas, man. You can't feel that entitled. You are not that entitled in any way, because that situation is exactly what the fuck we're talking about. Like, that situation is a microcosm of what we're talking about. These women don't owe you their bodies. Do you really understand that, though? Put the cape on. Say whatever you want to say. They don't owe you their bodies. You're not entitled to their bodies in any way. Every single time a woman consents, you should feel privileged because she's sharing something with you that she don't have to share. There's zero obligation in any way. That's just the reality. And as men, we got to hold each other accountable for these attitudes that need to change. There's responsibility that needs to be had from us to one another to understand that and get that. And this is not a soapbox, dog. This is real. Forget about think about in that situation. You know what? I don't even want to go there. I was about to do the whole think about if that's your daughter, if that's your sister, if that's your mom. Nah, forget all of that. Because every woman out there is your sister. Every one of them is your sister. Every one of them is somebody. It's not just you. That's like the old a Time to Kill situation where he's trying to make. Remember at the end of A Time to Kill, y'all, where he goes, yo, all of this stuff happened to this little girl. Now imagine that she's white. And all of a sudden, the jury goes, oh my God, now that we've imagined that the girl is white, we understand her humanity. Let's let them off. We shouldn't have to do that in order for us to understand just how backwards and putrid that situation is. I shouldn't have to put it in relation to your daughter or your mother or your sister or your cousin or your coworker or your whoever you love. The reality is that when she's dancing, that's her body, vibing to music that she hears. She's in her own space. If you walk up on her and she's cool with it, gravy. Amazing. I see videos all the time from all over the world. You see videos at Carnival in the West Indies, Carnival up there, Caravana up there in Toronto, where I'll be not too long. You see all kinds of videos where it goes down all the time. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. We have to change the mentality to believe that tells us that we're in some way entitled to women's bodies. We do. There's so many entitlements that have to change. White people have to stop thinking that they're entitled to our culture. White people have to stop thinking that they're entitled to our product. They do. Men have to stop thinking that we're entitled to the bodies of women. It's that simple. It's not that big of a deal, man. It's really not. I don't know why we feel so many guys under that post felt triggered by that. I really don't get why. Yo, if it happens and it's a mini little L, take your fucking ego, all right? Put that bitch in your hands, all right? Piece it together, stomp that motherfucker back, and then go to the next one. Or maybe learn that a woman shaking her ass isn't always an invitation to you to come up and put your dick on it. Think about the fact that you're mad, essentially, that you can't put your dick on anybody who you want. Marinate on that for a while. That's fucking crazy. You're mad that you can't put your dick on anyone you want. Anyone you see dancing, you can't just go put your dick on them. That upsets you? My G, I love you. I'm serious. But I'm telling you, man, whoever can hear my voice, please try to change. That's not gonna work. We gotta be better. And if we're better, society will be better and everybody will be better. But we gotta be better. Okay? Love y'all. I said as brothers. As brothers. Got a lot of work to do, and if you need me out there, black men, I'll be there for you. Always will. We gotta build each other up as brothers. We gotta hold each other accountable as brothers too. I'm not a perfect dude at all. These are all things that I am actively trying to unlearn as well. Actively trying to unlearn anything that would put women or other people in a position. Like, I've been all kinds of fucked up. I've been that guy in that video, like I said before. But we gotta try to be something a little bit different if we can. If we can. Now, hopefully the women have tuned back in because now it's time for them to listen to Jermaine Dupri, because really we're having a conversation about them. Jermaine's coming up right now. Pop some pills. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to get right into this one. We got two in the room right now, so white people, clap for Jermaine Dupri right now. Clap loud for Jermaine Dupri. Because I'm going to say this before we get started. Before we even get started, it's very important to acknowledge that you, no matter how mad anybody might be, are in fact a legend and a huge contributor to the culture. So the only thing that really, everybody can have their opinion, the only thing that really bothered me about the last couple of days were people, I feel like, taking shots at your legacy and what you've accomplished and what you've meant to music. And not just this hip hop thing, but all over the place. Have you felt any of that?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I'm the nigga you love to hate. Like, it's been like that for me my whole career. You know what I mean? Like, if you recall Super Bowl in Atlanta, I was a sellout.
Word.
Because I wanted to, you know, put on for my city.
Right.
That was the news.
That's what they talked about. The fact that a lot of people were thinking that the thing to do at that point was to boycott the NFL, and you decided, and you wanted Atlanta to have a role in the Super Bowl halftime show.
No, not this halftime. I didn't have nothing to do with halftime. What I was trying to do was showcase artists in my city that don't get those phone calls. You know what I mean? I gave all these artists in Atlanta 2 days to perform that don't get the phone calls from the NFL, right? And what people didn't understand was that all the NFL was going to do was hire people that weren't from Atlanta to come perform in our city, and then these artists, you know, why would we do that, right? But regardless of that, that was another thing where people slandered Jermaine Dupri, right? What was another? Oh, you know, I dated Janet Jackson. That was a.
What was the slander for that? That's nothing but.
you know the slander. It's everything I do, regardless of whatever it is.
Word.
Somebody got something to say about it. So I'm like, you know, it is what it is at this point. That's what I realized with this. It's just like, I didn't say nothing.
Well, let's get to what actually happened here. So, everybody knows by now. We don't have to go back over it, but I do want to give you the opportunity right now just to ask you a straight up question. What you said as far as relating to females in hip hop, women in hip hop, do you feel like you fucked up at all in saying it?
No, because I wasn't speaking on all women in rap.
Tell us what you were speaking on, how you interpreted that question.
The question was this. Let me ask you the question.
Sure.
How do you feel about the Megan Thee Stallions, Cardi B's of the world?
Okay, that's the question that was asked to you.
I'm asking you.
You're asking me?
That's exactly how the question was asked.
I love them both.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
But at that point, you narrowed it down to
the Megan Thee Stallions and the
both.
Cardi B's of the world.
That's what you said.
Because they asked you about female rappers, but they named 2 rappers.
They named 3 actually. They said, because I watched it back. They said Nicki, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, and so when you answered the question, you don't feel like because what people came, the criticism when you said what you said, and we'll get to that in a second, was that you weren't thinking about the Teairra Whacks and the Rhapsodies and the people.
I wasn't asked.
You weren't asked about them.
Like, first of all, what I want everybody to understand is I was there talking about my documentary that's coming on Thursday.
Right.
I'm not there to talk about female rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to talk about female rap either. Like, that's not something I was, I didn't go there to be like, let's talk about female rappers.
Right.
The reason it came up was because I released the first platinum female rapper.
Yeah, you have a history in it. Yeah, you have the history in it.
Yeah, the history. The first solo female rapper to ever go platinum came from me. So it's automatically a conversation that people want to talk about. With that being said, they start saying, so in today's hip hop, what I said to you. Yeah. Right? So as soon as they said that to me, that's the only thing I've been thinking about. I was thinking about these rappers, right? And I get, the reason I said it so fast is I've been thinking about it. You know what I mean? I've been thinking, I got 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. It's hard as hell for me to ride around in the car with my kids and listen to this music. If you're a real person, if you're a regular person, you're a real person. They don't, the radio stations are at fault for this too. They don't censor none of this, damn near nothing.
So you're saying that the artists like the ones that were mentioned, Megan and Cardi, Nicki, sometimes you feel like the sexualization of the lyrics is hard for you to kind of
100%. I mean, I'm a DJ in the club. These songs are amazing. Right. Matter of fact, Megan's record is my favorite song at this particular point in time. Right. Cardi B, I love her. She said Jermaine Dupri in the record and all of that. Like, I don't dislike these songs. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me my favorite. Right. That goes into like having, the thing that you listen to. Yeah. That's basically what they was asking me. Mm-hmm. The thing that you listen to. I'm saying.
Right. Now let me ask you something then, along those lines. In Atlanta, in the early to mid 2000s and even up to now, one big thing that picked up was trap music. And so when I'm around the same age as a lot of those guys, and so a lot of music that I listened to all throughout my 20s, Jeezy, T.I., Gucci, OJ, all of those guys, right? Love them even still right now. You would have to say that if you have a criticism about some of the sexualization of the music and the sexual imagery and the sexual content of the music, then what about the sort of, and this is not to be critical to any of those brothers at all, but what I'm saying is they were talking about drug dealing and shooting and all of that stuff. And that was all over the place on the radio. I'm not trying to indict them. But what I'm saying is it seems as if we're looking at those 2 things. You feel like the sexualization of music is a negative thing. I would say that the glorification of or the indulgence in any music that celebrates drug culture is also bad.
Yeah, but let me stop.
Well, what's the difference?
Let me just stop you because
those records went hard too, and I didn't hear that same criticism.
No, let me stop you by saying, first of all, we're talking about personal question to me. This is not general for hip hop. Okay. I'm from hip hop. I was born in hip hop. All these other people that you talk to and all, I'm from hip hop. Like before hip hop was on the radio, hip hop, right? Yeah. So I don't care what people say. I love everything that people rap about. Yeah. But at the same time, when you ask me, my favorite. Same thing if you ask me about my favorite guy rapper, and I said something about somebody else. It's my personal opinion, right? That's all it is. I'm concerned that we are in a world of hip hop where people just going with it because it's what's going on. Like
when you say going with it, what is it?
Whatever. As opposed to having an opinion. Right. I was just talking to my homeboy about this last night. Like, I don't have no yes men around me. I got niggas around me that tell me if I'm whack.
Right.
They tell me if something else is whack. They ask me about artists that I'm working with, like, yo, what's up with him?
Right.
Or what's up with her? Or they have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
When did we get to where we can't have an opinion?
Nah, I get it. And I think, listen, different people have different gauges as far as what's okay with them morally or spiritually and musically even, right? But what I'm basically saying is that, do you make a distinction when you say what's indecent for your kids to listen to? Would you have a problem if your kids listen to Gucci or T.I. or Jeezy or any of those guys? Because a lot of times it seems like we focus in on what women rap about, especially if they're rapping sexually or rap about their bodies. Meanwhile, men that are rapping get to rap about whatever they want, say whatever they want, no matter how out there it is. I love all the ratchet shit. Don't matter to me. But it seems like sometimes we play favorites a little bit. And
I'm not playing favorites. All I'm saying is, listen, this is what I'm saying. If you watch the video, I said, what I said was, I don't think any of the lyrics that I hear are projecting somebody trying to focus on being the best lyricist.
Okay.
That's what I said.
So it's about the skill to you.
I mean, that's what I said. Right. That's what I said. So then when I look at all the rappers that's, saying things and sending me videos, it's a very big difference between Teairra Whack and these rappers that we talking about. Like, it's a very big difference. It's a whole complete opposite type of thing, right? And I said that. I said that's why I don't think people paid attention to what I said, because I clearly said I don't think none of these rappers that we was talking about are trying to show us who's the best rapper. They making songs, which is great. I love the song. Like I said, we dance to the songs in the club, blah, blah, blah. But I like rappers.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Can you not spit ill bars about your pussy?
How many times though?
I'm just saying, okay, how many times can you rap about cocaine? You're right. There are guys that have made their entire career and brilliant rappers. You're right, but every time they rap, it's about cocaine.
But that's my problem with this. It's like why? If we bring up a black issue, do we have to bring up a white issue?
Well, this is why I'm on this right now. You're right about that. That's the kind of the All Lives Matter incident. All Lives Matter things. Like, yeah, I get it.
I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. All they asked me was about 3 girls.
Right.
I'm not thinking of.
You're not thinking about hip hop and the totality.
We're not thinking about the whole hip hop. If it was a discussion, and somebody said, let's talk about rap,
right?
Then we can get into that.
Right. But the reason why I'm asking you this is, and I'm starting here with you, is because you don't have a lot of yes men around you, right? You don't. And that's probably why you're creatively as good as what you were for up to now, for your entire career. Also, though, when we in the barbershop and we argue in rap music, we do all of this, there's a difference between us, though, and you.
How?
We ain't.
The internet say I'm irrelevant.
No, nigga. Like, you're Jermaine Dupri. Like, no, wait.
Somebody said today, it's like, yo, this nigga's only famous because he dated Janet Jackson.
No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But what I'm saying is, you're Jermaine Dupri, right? Architect, in part, of the Atlanta sound. A whole bunch of people, organized noise, a whole bunch of people had a lot to do with it, but So Def is right there in the middle of really a musical revolution. So if you say something about the landscape of hip hop, that is going to be a big deal, right? And so if people say Jermaine Dupri feels like there's too much rapping about this, they're gonna say, okay, well, why haven't we heard Jermaine Dupri's opinion? Maybe because you weren't asked about some of these other things that might be destructive or whatever. And also,
by the way, hold up, let me say this. I do, because I didn't know you was gonna ask me this, but I do retract, right? And y'all can go back, and one day I tweeted, and if people be watching, I tweeted, I heard somebody rapping so off beat that I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I tweeted this, right?
Right.
Just before Tatiana came out.
It's Blueface.
Blueface hit me. I didn't even know who he was.
Right.
Because people was like, you gotta be talking about Blueface. I'm not talking about Blueface, by the way.
Right.
But to your point, and to everybody's point, I said this. Mm-hmm. I said, yo, when did niggas start rapping off beat and it became cool?
Right.
This is tweeted.
Yeah.
People hitting me, JD, who the fuck you talking about? Nick laughing.
Right.
I'm getting messages from everybody, right? I never said no names. I just said this what I heard. And I asked the question, when did this become the shit, right? Blueface hit me. I never met him before, nothing. He said, you know, if I wasn't doing that, you probably wouldn't have spoke on me. And I didn't even speak on him. I wasn't even talking about him.
You weren't talking about Blueface.
I wasn't talking about him. But I was speaking on
rappers rapping off beat.
This offbeat rap.
Right.
I'm not. Listen, it's gonna be a lot of things that
you have opinions on.
That I'm gonna have opinions on, and that's one of them. So right, you know, didn't nobody get mad? It didn't turn into this right now, but Blueface seen it, and he felt like I was talking about him, right? So I mean, I have an opinion about all of this stuff you talking about. I'm just saying, if I was asked a question, I spoke on what I said,
right?
and
that's that. Well, I will say, do you feel at all that like women, a lot of the sisters, women period, they feel like they are unfairly picked on when it comes to issues of their sexuality? Like they can't dress the way they want to dress. They can't be as provocative as they want to be. They can't be as free to be themselves, because here's the thing. I truly believe that, let's take the three women that were named in this. Megan, Nicki, and Cardi. I don't think they're putting on. That's them. That's who they are. That is, those women are, they all can rap. They're also beautiful. They also have some other gifts that God gave them, right? That's who they are, though. That's their life. That's what they like to rap about. Those are the things that are in their world. So is it even fair to criticize them about rapping about the things that really reflect parts of their personality that are genuine?
No, it's not. Not at all. And I didn't criticize them.
Well, how would you characterize what you did then? Because it seems as if
I gave you my opinion of me not having a favorite. I didn't criticize them. I didn't say, yo, they whack.
Right.
For rapping like this.
But you said it's more like strippers rapping, as if there was something, there seemed to be a negative connotation in that.
That's because, in my mind, I believe it's a genre called stripper rap. Just like it's trap rap.
Yeah.
Right? Like trap rappers rap about drugs, right? I feel like females that understand the stripper lifestyle, whether they came from it or not, and they rap and they talk about it, I feel like it's a genre just like trap rap.
Have you heard of, what's the girl's name? Rennie Rucci? Have you heard about her?
Yeah.
I love that record. Am I wrong for loving that record? The Fuck It Up Bitch record?
No.
See, I love that shit. Have y'all heard that shit? Crystal, you would love this joint. It's like this is like Crystal's like see Crystal over here? Crystal's into the most ratchet shit, bro. Crystal put me on 21 Savage. Shout out to Savage. I didn't even know who Savage was. Crystal's coming here like, Van, you fucking with that X, that Future and 21 Savage, and then that's how I got into Savage. But yeah, but and we actually had a
let's clear that up. The word criticism means that you say something bad about a person. I did not criticize none of these.
The
girls.
connotation of it though was that is. Oh, come on. Hey, don't try to act like you don't like this shit, Jermaine.
Wait, don't do that.
I know, I'm fucking with you. I know. Nah, I'm fucking with you. By the way, the video's not bad either. But seriously, the reason why people took it as criticism, you didn't mean it as criticism. That point well taken.
I mean, it was no criticism involved. It was just a question.
People took it as criticism because you said it's more like strippers.
Yeah,
rapping.
but that's what I'm saying. I feel it like it was an episode of Love and Hip Hop, I think, right? And I think they had one of the girls come see me on the episode, and I think Mimi was managing her.
Okay.
Right? And she brought her to the studio with me, and in the studio, I'm listening to the rap, and I'm listening to the things that she's saying, and and I told her it sounded like stripper fight music, right? I'm thinking concept. I'm not thinking about destroying a person's livelihood. I'm thinking about, I'm a conceptual person. You know what I'm saying? I told Criss Cross put their clothes on backwards. I'm telling this girl, you should name your rap music stripper fight music. It's a thing. Lil Jon, crunk music. trap music, like you said. If we don't, it is a genre to me as far as that music goes, because all of these songs go in that boat.
Do you feel like and you don't think there's anything wrong with that genre?
It's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with stripper rap.
Nothing wrong with it.
Okay, because I think a lot of people felt like they came across that you felt like there was something wrong.
Yeah, no, it's nothing wrong with it. But you still, if you ask 10 other people, what's your favorite female rap, and they don't say these 3 people, then they wrong. Then everybody gonna be mad, right?
Right.
Because just think like this: the way I'm looking at it, if I would have said somebody that's not in the mainstream eye, and you name these 3 mainstream rappers, I still would have got shit.
Yeah, because they'd have been like, "Oh, we didn't ask you about that. We asked you about these ladies. What's wrong with them?"
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like it's a situation where, listen, I'm the nigga you love to hate.
You feel like that.
Kill him.
Right.
He's only famous for Janet Jackson. Get him. He's a sellout that did, whatever.
Right.
That's who it is. It's not, nobody heard me criticize nobody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. That's completely out. And that's what I'm saying. Do
you get why they felt that way? Do you at least understand?
I didn't. I didn't.
But do you now though? Because
yes, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Right. The reason why I feel like people feel like that is because the whole genre of female rap is being shunned by, I don't know why, because you was getting ready to say something a minute ago and I was going to jump in on you.
Okay.
I think you was getting ready to say that these females have to do what they're doing in order to sell records or something like that.
I wasn't going to say that. That's actually kind of what Cardi said. I don't know what they have to do to sell records. I don't know nothing about selling records.
Well, I heard something like that. And
what I was going to say is I think that from what I know of, I saw a cipher with, like, there's an unread DM from Megan Thee Stallion. I can show it to you right now that I DM'd her like 2017. After I saw her first cipher, I knew it was going to work. I knew it was going to work, not just because of how she looked. She was in some cipher in Houston. They were all like on a rooftop. I hit her up. It's not that kind of DM, guys. I hit her up and I'm like, yo, I like to get in with artists early, and a bunch of artists will tell you this, that like, yo, if you need it, even with Cardi, like, shout out to Shaft and them, like, I was trying to get her on TMZ. If you're an artist and you're working and I think you're dope, I try to get you in here, try to make sure you got some light on what you're doing. That's kind of my function at TMZ. But I sent that to her because I even have ran into Charlamagne and stuff like that. When I saw the package and what she was doing, but when I heard her rap, I knew it was going to work. I knew it was going to work. I think she can rap for real. And I think she's rapping about things that really reflect who she really is. And if riding a dick is who you really are, then rap about riding a dick. Like, if that really reflects, if being a big old freak, or Nicki, first of all, got bars. Like, Nicki has washed legends on tracks. We can't even include, if you talk about rapping, you gotta include Nicki with some of the greats, male or female. Nicki got bars. But with Cardi B and any of these, if that's your real thing, I only care when it's not genuine. Like, if you pick up some Pyrex just to rap about it, I don't really care. But if that's really your life that you led, rap about that as much as you want. Just know that there are kids somewhere that are probably going to be influenced by the music that you put out. And hopefully one day, when you're not selling dope no more, you won't rap about selling dope no more. Here's the thing though. You can ride dick forever. You never really gotta stop rapping about that. You never really gotta stop rapping about that. And I think that women should be empowered to explore those parts of their personality that sometimes might offend people, because it's not about our sensibilities, Jermaine. It's about kind of what they're living.
Okay, but I mean, like I said, I don't.
Listen, you're like, what?
Listen, I want to make people understand. I didn't come to that interview to talk about female rap, to get even in this hole that I'm in with these people now, because it's like, so today, let me make sure I say the person's name right, so I don't want to,
I think I seen it.
You seen it?
Was it she hit you up and she was spitting?
Yeah.
So was it called Chicka?
No. What's her name?
Lady London?
No, Chicka.
Chicka. That's the one she was getting off.
Okay, so Chicka hit me today.
And she put some on Instagram. I was actually gonna play it for you,
and
but
she
like
put,
on
she
Twitter.
Put at Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah,
right?
Chicka. Shout out to Chicka, by the way.
So
she was
shout out to Chicka.
Going hard on that motherfucker.
Right. So
I had never heard of her.
Okay, but listen, she put at Jermaine Dupri. And I got off the plane here in LA, or I might have seen it before I got to LA. Either way, she added me, right? So I'm acknowledging her adding me. I posted on my page. The comments are, oh, now you want to be into her, or now you want to post her, now you want to act like you like. What's the problem? Like,
Word.
I'm trying to help the situation now. If you feel like these people are not being heard, if you feel like mainstream is not paying attention, then here I am allowing somebody that's never heard this girl, that pays attention to whatever I'm doing, to hear. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like
a part of that's just the internet, my brother.
I feel like I ran into something that's already been bubbling. I think people have been talking about this female rap thing for a second.
No, I know. Well, listen, I would be lying if I told you that there hadn't been a conversation about image versus skills as far as female rappers.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Because even Rhapsody discusses that.
Okay, so that's
even Chicka in what she rapped actually touched on that.
That's
a fair.
That's all I want people to acknowledge. Stop trying to make it seem like Jermaine Dupri was, what your words were, the trouble starter.
Right.
I didn't start the trouble. This is something that's rumbling or has been rumbling, right? Because even in Cardi's message, Cardi said,
she said, I tried to rap.
She said, I tried.
She said, I gave them Be Careful, and people wanted to hear me rap
exactly.
about my
That
pussy.
means that it's been a conversation inside her camp, right? Where people feel like this is what's happening. Can we hear something else, right? By the way, I didn't say that. I'm just saying this has to be something that's been bubbling or going on at this point because of how everybody's reacting to it.
Right.
Right? If it wasn't, then it would have been like people reacted to when I said about the offbeat rapping. Because that goes back to what you're saying. When I said that and it was the men, nobody was in, it wasn't nothing.
Right. Because I do think though, like, if you right now talk about the rappers that I like, my favorite guys that I like to listen to rap, it's gonna be Kendrick, but it's also gonna be 2 Chainz. Like there's no one I like to hear rap more than Chainz, and Chainz gonna give you that trap shit, pure trap shit. That's like the guy I like to hear rap the most, trap shit. But also, it's Kendrick and it's Cole. It's Wayne. There's all of this sort of.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite rapper ever, Jay Electronica.
Okay.
Right? So
that's it. Boom.
Right.
He has nothing to do with them people that you just named.
I know, but as male rappers, we get to choose from everywhere.
No,
but it seems like the market is fighting with female rappers.
If I asked you who your favorite was, you would tell me just what you just told me.
Yeah.
Jay Electronica.
Right.
Or you could have said what I said, Jermaine, I don't have a favorite.
Right.
I would have left it at that.
Right.
Right? But you said, I listen to this person, I listen to this person. Same with me. I listen to Cardi B. I listen to Nicki Minaj. I listen to Megan. I listen to all this music. Who's your favorite?
Right. So let me ask you a question. Since this has happened, or have you been pleasantly surprised at the amount of lyrical women that you've been put up on?
No.
You haven't been?
No, because I don't doubt that it's out there. I never doubted it was out there. Once again, let's rewind. I put out the brat who didn't have to sell sex, who just rapped. She's the only platinum female artist from Chicago. I don't know anybody else.
People did put out Whatever You Like, though. That was a kind of a sexy record.
I mean,
right.
It's one song.
Right, I get you. But nah, she was lyrical.
And I'm not sure she said pussy in the record ever.
I can't remember.
Right?
Yeah.
But regardless, we're not talking about the lyrics. All I'm telling you is that when you say, was I surprised? I'm never surprised that people, I'm not the guy that's like shocked that girls can rap. I'm the guy that promotes that.
Yeah.
Right? I also had, if you watch the rap game, last season I had Rhapsody come on the rap game. I don't see nobody else putting her on major TV shows. I don't see nobody else putting none of these other females on major TV shows. I had her come on my show and be a mentor to kids that was 14, 15, 16 that didn't even know who she was. They ain't listening to no Rhapsody. That's 100% listening to what is played on the radio. They don't know nothing about her, right? This is me. This is what I'm doing. This is the person I'm doing without all this press. This was since people want to rewind the tape, go back and look at the rap game last season and look who my special guest was. Rhapsody. So what does that look like now? Does that look like JD still, I'm not woke? What does that look like? I'm just going off everything everybody's saying.
Like they questioned your wokeness, huh?
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then on the rap game, right? It's an artist that won the first season named Mulatto. A female rapper.
Yeah.
Young female rapper that I was pushing out here so people could see. On my TV show, we had multiple female rappers every season. Young little female rappers. On my show, I told them, though, y'all young. Y'all got to rap about what you're doing. Don't do what everybody else is doing, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. Me being what I am. What I tell people is this. When you talk to a professor of a school and you have a conversation with one of the students of that school, the conversation's going to always be different.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I couldn't agree with you more. The only thing I would say to that is the professor has to understand the student can have a conversation, right? And can talk about whatever they want. The professor, it's up to them to understand that when they speak, people are in tune to learn.
That's cool.
So when the professor's speaking, people are thinking, yo, I'm learning. When we move off this topic, like when I'm talking to you, you're somebody who I've been listening to, like getting ready to go play varsity basketball games, and I didn't know what a bezel was. I didn't no clue what a bezel was. Me and my boy Ryan Davenport. It's true. Me and my boy Ryan Davenport. When Money Ain't a Thing comes, is you and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And what does it say?
Yeah.
To rock and roll with the ice bezel. I was like, we saying that over the time. I go look at my nigga Ryan. I'm like, yo, nigga, what's a bezel? Like what is what is that? And so because that's that's a true statement though. Like,
all right, so listen.
So what I'm saying is, to that, with that reverence comes what my mom always says, which is a responsibility of the tongue to know that people are going to take what you say a little bit more seriously than they would one of those students.
So I guess to go back to your first question you asked me was you said did I feel bad about my comments?
I asked you, do you feel like you fucked up?
Yeah, I feel like I fucked up with my comments. And to answer that question now, no, I feel like I opened the door. I feel like what I'm looking at now and what I see, because I see a lot. I'm seeing a whole lot. I'm seeing stories. I'm seeing a lot of different things. And from what I'm seeing, somebody, if it wasn't me, somebody had to do that. Somebody had to give that joke. I didn't never want to be that person to be giving these jokes. But I mean, like, in my reality, I look at it like, man, Chuck D called me about this.
What was his perspective?
Van Lathan called me about doing an interview. Like, I know we live in a world where people get interviewed for doing stupid shit, but I don't believe that people want to talk to me because this is a stupid issue. I think this is an issue that people, like I said, I feel like this is something that's bubbling, and people are calling me to talk to me to see, okay, well, some people are agreeing, some people are not, right? And like you said, people want to know. I think people felt like I was really embedded in it. I'm not embedded in this, though, by the way. Like I said, I don't care what nobody rap about. It's rap.
Right.
We don't. That's not. I'm from the South. Luke Skywalker.
Hell yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Yes, I go to strip clubs every night.
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
So none of that. I don't want nobody to get none of that shit twisted.
Because if you go to the strip club and you in there and you in the strip club doing your thing, and the ladies just rapping about what's going on, that would be hypocritical.
The most appropriate in the world.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, that's appropriately, amazingly sounding.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, it's like saying, when people say Eminem is their favorite rapper, and then somebody tries to argue and say, but he ain't popping in the club. Okay.
Yeah.
In the club, you listen to some other people. When
Right.
they get in their car and they listen to Eminem, that's what they prefer to listen to in their car.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's their opinion. That's their favorite. Like you, Jay Electronica. He ain't on the radio. He ain't got no club record.
Nah.
But when you jump in your
He
car,
barely got songs.
okay,
nigga.
there you go. As a
He
fan,
barely.
But I'm just saying-
Jay Lick might have 40 songs total.
okay, but he's still your favorite.
My
This
favorite
is what you
rapper.
said.
Love
It's
him,
your
yeah.
favorite,
My favorite
right?
rapper.
So if somebody get in your car and you turn him on, and they don't know this conversation, they be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you playing, dog?
Mm-hmm.
Put on what's going on?" You like, I don't want to hear that. This is what I listen to.
Right.
Then that's gonna turn into something else, right? By the way, I didn't say this ain't what I listen to. I didn't say this is what I listen to. All I said was you asked me who my favorite was. I said I can't pick a favorite. That's it.
Right.
Nothing. This person's whack and this person's terrible. And I ain't get into none of that. I said, hey, I just don't have a favorite out of what you asked me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Last question on this. Do you even, I might have asked you all already, but I'm going to come back to it. Do you even understand? You said that you didn't mean it that way. You say you didn't say it that way. Last on this. Do you understand why people took it the way that they did?
No, I still don't understand why it's a female rapper in Atlanta that doesn't have I don't believe she has a record on the radio or a video on any of these video channels that's major that feels like I'm talking to them. I definitely don't understand that.
You don't?
You?
Well, listen.
The female rapper that's in Boston that you never seen before. You think I was talking about that person?
I don't claim to know what's in your brain when I'm saying.
No, but I'm just saying, really, do you think that?
No,
like when you hit me, that's what I told you. I'm saying, do you even think the two women that interviewed me know who Teairra Whack is?
Probably not, although they should, because she out of here and been out of here, and she coming up, she doing her own thing. She really is getting some of that shine. What I'm saying is, when you said when you said it and it came off the way that it did, and women like for example Doja Cat, right, or any other people that made specific videos back to you and felt like that you did two things.
By the way, I just want to say something about Doja Cat. By the way,
you want to say something about Doja Cat? Okay,
yeah,
say
I
something
just
about
want
Doja
to say
Cat.
this. You can't talk to me to my moo. I'm a cow.
Come on, man. Wait a second.
You can't talk to me.
Wait a second, though.
I'm cool.
I'm cool. But Doja Cat is fun.
We're not gonna have no more conversation about that.
Doja Cat is fun.
We're not gonna have no more conversation about that. Bitch, I'm a cow. Moo. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? If you think you can diss me like you said in the beginning, please understand.
Doja Cat is fun, bro.
Listen to me. I am a rapper. I'm from hip hop, and I came up battling, dancing, breaking, DJing, producing, rapping. You, some shit we ain't going for. That's not we not going with that.
I fucks with Doja Cat.
Okay, well, move.
All right, now, all right, cool. So we'll move off that. I feel like we didn't beat that horse to death. Tell me about the documentary, brother. What am I gonna see?
It's basically it's just basically my life. You know what I mean? Like just showing me letting people know where I came from, how. Because I mean, through all of this, I'm noticing that people really don't know Jermaine Dupri. They really don't know what I do. They really don't know
what you've
the timeline. They really don't know what I've done. They are lost in the sauce of things that they've heard. So it's kind of like to get you to, I guess, start you down the road. It's not even really halfway through what has happened. It's only an hour, but it gets you. It hits a lot of the things that I think people talked about and people have heard about.
Any misconceptions about Jermaine Dupri that are out there that are dispelled in the documentary? Things that people think that aren't true?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was talking to Angie Martinez, and she was like,
shout out to Angie and Aronde, my peoples.
And she said she didn't realize that Criss Cross weren't rappers.
What does that mean?
They weren't rapping when I met them.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
This I didn't know.
See? There you go.
I mean, they put out a rap song, by the way. me and my homie Jabril, we did our crisscross thing. We dressed up. We put our clothes on backwards, bro.
You and your homeboy is funny as hell.
Bro, we was just trying to be y'all, man. Like, but like, it was from Baton Rouge until P and them came. Like, that was the shit we was on. But what do you mean they weren't rappers? How, like?
No, they weren't rappers. They weren't trying to be rappers. They weren't running around with demos. They weren't trying to go to the studio. They just was cool ass kids. And I seen a vision for them. I saw how they looked, and I said, "Can y'all rap?" They said, "We don't rap. We don't want to be rappers." And
where'd you meet them at? They were just hanging around in the mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying, like, all of that whole story, like you saying you don't really know this.
Didn't really know that.
Stuff like that, like I said, and me, throughout my career, I just been moving and doing and keep moving, that I think I taken for granted that people know these stories. Mm-hmm. And then, when I get down the road, I'm like, damn, they don't act like they don't know what, they acting like they don't know who I am. Or they don't act like, so I'm finding out that this stuff needs to be put in people's face so people actually really know it, and it's locked and sealed, and then we can continue to keep moving on.
Right. So I'll ask you something kind of along those lines. In the 90s, where hip-hop really exploded and became real true pop music, where y'all was selling millions and millions of records and making all of this money and stuff like that, when it went from being maybe a subgenre to kind of the beginnings of what it is now, there were a lot of titans that were made, right? It was, in the West, it was Suge, and then on the East Coast up there, it was obviously Puff. And then really in the South, before Baby and them came along, and before, like I said, P and them came along, So Def was popping, and it was you. Do you feel like you get props along those same lines of being one of those guys who created?
No, I think everybody has to do what you just did. You gave this long, drawn-out intro of, like...
Well, I was trying to put it in context.
But he's like, and then it was this, and then it was So Def. How about it wasn't nobody when So Def was there? Then LaFace came to Atlanta. How about that? Like, why don't we say it like that? It was nobody in Atlanta doing what I was doing. Wasn't, right?
Right.
So it's nothing else to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, it's
that's a little, so that intro that I gave right there is a little frustrating for you.
It's, yeah, because I always hear people jump to P, Cash Money, right? Even their story, somebody was before somebody else, right? So, but people always speak of it together, right? When they speak of So Def, they always got to say, but this person was doing this, but then it was So Def. No, how about it was So Def, and then it was somebody else?
Okay.
I mean, see how you're saying? Listen. When I think,
I'm just saying. But what I'm telling you is,
this is a real timeline.
But this is my era that I grew up in, right?
Okay.
So this is when I first started going there and buying my own music and having my own musical taste. And so, in Baton Rouge, where I'm from, we had artists, but it wasn't coming along. So we were getting a lot of artists from out of Texas and even all of that stuff over there, right? So I thought the West was Death Row, Atlanta was So Def. We came along later in the decade, and then it was Louisiana was P and Baby. Then it ended up being Trill and them. Shout out to all of them guys from Baton Rouge who made it thing. And then New York was them. But so I looked at it as rap music as a whole.
But the way you just said it just then was more like of how it should be said. But majority of people always go around like even this whole thing about people keep trying to pit me and Outkast. I love Outkast. Outkast by far made people from Atlanta pay attention to rap. Rap.
Right.
Without a doubt. They made people pay attention to rappers from Atlanta.
Right.
Right? But Outkast also called my office trying to get a deal.
You didn't sign them?
I didn't get the call.
Wow.
But I'm saying, what does that tell you, though?
That in order to, they came to you because you were the thing that was smoking. Right. Damn, but think about this, though, Jermaine. That would have been dope to have Outkast on social.
100%. It'd have been dope for me to sign everybody from Atlanta. That's my vision, to sign everybody. If I could have signed everybody that was coming out of Atlanta, that would have been my idea. That's what my mindset is. But I'm saying, I'm just showing you how even that gets twisted.
Right.
What are we talking about? You got people that want to argue with Jermaine and Outkast. Listen, Outkast is greatest. They the greatest group by the far as I'm concerned that we had
in hip hop history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but when we talk about what was going on in Atlanta, LaFace wasn't there. And they signed to LaFace.
Yeah. I get it. What is the biggest misconception about you that you hear? The biggest thing that people say about Jermaine Dupri, since you say it's really not probably going to be dispelled in the documentary, but is there something that people think about you that's not true, that you're like, damn, that's bullshit, and that's kind of getting spun out there?
I mean, I don't think people understand the levels and layers that's in me. You know what I mean? That's why I said what I said about Doja Cat. Like I don't care about that, right? I'm just fucking with you. But at the same time, I think people think they can play with me like that. You can't play with me like that. I write raps.
Talk your shit. I'm
just saying. I write raps.
Yeah.
I've written a bunch of songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I make beats. I'm in the studio every fucking day. If that's the road you want to go down with me. I'm not the dude to be playing with like that. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you.
And I feel like sometimes people try to do that.
Why? Why do they try that with you?
I don't know. Like even Doja, why would she say that? I don't know her. And by the way, do you think I was talking about Doja Cat?
No.
Exactly.
But I think that Doja Cat might have felt a specific way because she is a very beautiful lady and her sexuality is a part of her music.
Where's she from?
I don't know.
No, wait. Stop. Don't do that. Where's she from?
Where's Doja Cat from?
Yeah.
In the world?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is she from Atlanta?
Is Doja Cat from Atlanta? I don't know where she's from.
New York?
I'm telling you right now, I don't know where Doja Cat's from.
Pull it up. Is she from Atlanta? Is she from L.A.?
Let me see. I feel like if you listen to this Doja Cat, I feel like I should know where you're from. I don't know where she's from though.
You just say you fuck with her, so that's sad.
I don't know where she's from.
You know where Drake from? You know where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know where Jay-Z
She's from L.A.
She's from L.A.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking.
what was the point of that?
I just asked you a question.
But I will say, you know why I know where those other people are? Because you know where somebody is based upon, I don't know where Teairra Whack is from.
Yeah, you do.
Where's she from?
Philly.
Okay. But listen, what I'm saying is, like, when people really put on for where they from in their raps, if you hear Jay-Z, it's Marcy, it's Marcy, it's Marcy, it's Marcy. Any of those other people you name, they put on, even with you, synonymous with Atlanta. Not everybody does that in their raps.
Everybody does.
Not really.
Everybody does.
No, not.
I can name 10 rappers. I guarantee you know exactly where they from.
Well, okay, you could do this, and we could do this for you to make me look bad right now with the Doja Cat shit. But the reality is, not everybody does it.
I'm just telling you.
Are you trying to make me shit on Doja Cat now?
By the way, this ain't about her.
Right.
I'm just telling you. I'm just showing you, man. I'm hip hop, yo. You asked me what I feel like people get misconstrued. I didn't start rapping in 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't start rapping in 96.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I started rapping at 12 in 83.
Right.
12. Right. I seen hip hop every side, every which way, every angle. I seen artists that he will never see. I've been in the studio with Biggie, people you will never get an interview with.
Right.
I've been on tour with Tupac. I got taught how to DJ by Jam Master Jay. What I want people to stop doing and understand, you can't make me quiet my life. My life is loud, and it's a product of hip hop. And in hip hop, if you got on whack ass sneakers, I will be the person to tell you. If your outfit don't match and you think you look fly, and I know you,
right,
I'm the person that's gonna tell you. Right? Same way somebody do me.
Right.
You know, it's just I'm hip hop, man. You know what I mean? And in hip hop, I never knew. Just to get back to what it is, I never knew we can't have our opinions.
Hip hop is all about opinions.
And if it was a
But here's the thing though. I'll tell you this about opinions. An opinion, like in Avengers, right? When Hawkeye says to Nick Fury about the Tesseract, he said it's a door. Doors open from both sides. Opinions open from both sides. All you got was a bunch of opinions. you gave your opinion, and then you got opinions on your opinion.
I got dissed.
Right. And but even the dissing is people telling you what they think about what the fuck you said.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
so if you telling me when if I put these Reacts on, which I got like 300 miles on these shoes, right? And then you tell me my shoes are whack. It was an opinion for me to put these shoes on my feet, and then it was your opinion about how they look. Yeah. So all those people did was give you an opinion about what they thought. Yeah,
but they criticized me. They start criticizing. Like
the insults is what you're saying. Yeah,
dissing and criticizing. Mm-hmm. Like that's not. I didn't do none of that.
But what if, in their opinion, you don't have? What if, in their opinion, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. How? Why?
That's how they feel.
How?
Because
why when I'm on People magazine, like let's think about the outlet first. If this was XXL, Source, a place where we talk about hip hop, but we're at People magazine.
Do you feel like People magazine was fair to you in the way they put the headline up?
They posted what I said. They ain't cut it. They ain't edited it.
Yeah.
They posted the conversation. Yeah. People took it how they want to take it. Right? It ain't like they did nothing to make me say something. They asked me the question. That's why I keep saying if everybody watched it, but they didn't, because the clip that was on the Shade Room cut the question off. It doesn't show the girl asked the question. It just it goes right straight to Jermaine Dupri says, all female rappers are strippers.
Right. Now let me tell you, now let me be honest with you, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you right now. So we're having a great cerebral conversation about these things, right? I'm making points, you're making points, and also I'm learning more about Jermaine Dupri than I might have known before. There are things in this particular interview that people are going to take and run with. Your opinions on Doja Cat, people are going to take and run with, right? Then that's going to become a thing. Some of the other things people are going to take and run with. Because to be honest with you, there are people that are going to say he still didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He still didn't know.
Do you feel like that?
No, I never felt like that. Remember when I hit you? That's not the conversation.
No, but I'm
just
saying. So you're saying that? What did I say that's gonna make people say that?
Well, if you ask me to go back to the point of the interview, if I'm just re-accessing what we've talked about, the part of this interview where you say there are still things that when you're in the car with your daughters that you can't explain to them that people are rapping about, that really, to be honest with you, that's going to make a lot of people feel like it's those female rappers' job to censor their music so that you can more easily explain it to your daughters.
No.
And what I'm saying about that is, if we're gonna have that opinion about female rappers rapping about sexuality, then we would certainly have to have that opinion about the gun talk and the gang talk and all of that shit too.
Once again, that's what I'm saying. I feel like in any of these conversations that we have, that's a conversation that you want to have. You want to have that conversation about why are we talking about girls if we ain't gonna talk about guys? That's a conversation that I feel like you want to have. You want to have that conversation, and if anybody else brings that up, they want to have that conversation.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that's on my mind. I'm thinking, why won't JD talk about these niggas? So I bring it up.
That's what you're thinking about,
right?
That's not what we're talking about, though.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. So if anybody does that, this is what they're thinking.
Right.
They're thinking about. But what about the guys? What about the guys?
So that's called implicit bias. So they're bringing their bias into a conversation here.
That's what they talking about.
Right.
That don't have nothing to do with when I'm riding in the car with my daughter.
Right.
I'm not having am I on a podcast when I'm in the car with my kid?
But what I'm saying is, have you ever been in the car with your kid and heard violent rap?
Yes, and turn all that off.
Okay, cool.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I don't just censor it because it's females.
Yeah.
But that's
important to say.
But I will tell you this: when you have a daughter, and your daughter looks at something on TV, 9 times out of 10 they gonna mimic it and go upstairs and get. I've caught my daughter on Instagram and had to ban her from being on there. Right? Have you ever been through that? Anybody watching me? Have you been through that? If you haven't, then you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Right? But I'm saying this is real shit that I'm sure other people have to deal with.
All right.
But this ain't got nothing to do with what I was saying. This don't have nothing to do with my preference because with my life, everybody always try to say, but you always in the strip club and you always listening to
You know why I first wanted to come to Freaknik and go to the strip clubs and shit like that? It's because of y'all niggas. It's because it's like the reason why I wanted to come. Like all of those strip clubs, hey, it's a Jazzy Tees. I didn't know what the fuck them strip clubs were. I wanted to come down there and experience them because of you guys. I didn't know that Atlanta was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. In the overview of this whole thing, I don't have a problem with people saying things. I don't have a problem with nothing that people do, right?
Yeah.
I have a responsibility, though, when I got my kids in the car, that am I putting this on them? Do I want to look in the back and see my daughter doing something, the cucumber challenge,
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
I'm just saying, like, come on, like, then you, by the way, people talk to me like I don't have an other side of people talking. I got other people on this side that's saying, JD, you're an OG. It's your responsibility to da-da-da-da-da.
I'm sure you do have that.
Right?
Yeah.
So this
I'm not saying the conversation isn't worth having.
No.
I'm saying the conversation is worth being honest about.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I just want people to understand, if you bring that up and you think I still don't know what I'm talking about, that means you are 100% wanting somebody to talk to you about male rappers versus how we treat female rappers.
I just want to make sure that in any of these conversations that we're applying to equal measure.
Oh, well, I mean, but you got to listen to the Brat album to understand it. I don't give a fuck about that. Brat album is 100%
lyrical,
rough, lyrical, talking shit, doing all that. So
I like it all.
It ain't got nothing to do with.
Let me ask you. Speaking of that, I'm gonna ask you to do something right now, because this is another conversation that's been had throughout history. Who are the top female rappers of all time to you?
I ain't doing it.
Jermaine? Jermaine, look, she's telling them not to do it.
I ain't doing that.
She's telling them not to do it. Who are the top female? You ain't got to rank them. Jermaine, you ain't got to rank them. I just want to hear some. Give me 5 names. You ain't got to rank them, Jermaine.
Y'all already.
Hey. Come on, sister, we was vibing making this interview happen. Now you're not going to let them answer the question?
Y'all already done tried to put me in the hole. I ain't going there, man. I ain't doing that. I like all female rappers. Listen, for real. I like all female rappers if they spitting and they doing what they got to do. That's it. It ain't got nothing to, I'm not biased. Okay,
let me ask you this then. Forget about female rappers. Straight up, who don't have to be somebody famous, don't have to be somebody you work with, don't have to be anyone. Don't have to. I'm not asking you who the greatest. Who is the best rapper you ever heard? Like you
female?
Period.
Best rapper I ever heard.
Just somebody that just the best sound you ever heard. Like the best rap, like you
hear.
From
a female?
Period.
Oh, male.
Male or female. Male or female. Put them all in one thing.
Biggie.
Biggie's the best rapper you ever heard.
100%.
Like people say that all the time. I just want to give Big some roses. I heard you talking about, I heard you, shout out to my man Sway. I heard it to you on Sway talking about, and these are the stories, the shit that I like to hear. Because I get nostalgic and shit. Talking about when Juicy was popping, and when Funkdafied was popping, and I think it was Flavor in Your Ear, and those 3 records kind of broke at the same time, and that's kind of really when you establish your relationship with Big. And a lot of people talk about Big, his flow. As a producer, what made Big's flow so special?
His attack on the beats, and his lyrical content, and how he bridged words together and made them fit on these beats. Pocket wise, that's what made Biggie for me. Pocket wise, it's nobody sits in the pocket the way B.I.G. sits in the pocket on every beat. I never seen him on a beat that he didn't feel that he didn't make right for him.
It's crazy. The versatility was crazy.
But I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm saying, and a lot of people might not understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking. And
I'm one of them.
I'm not.
I'm just talking. You're the expert, so make me understand.
I'm just talking about pocket, like. He just would get in the pocket, and the way he'd get in the pocket was just like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's before you even hear what he's talking about. It's the way his raps was just in the pocket. Right?
Anybody close?
Like, I'm gonna give you an example. The video I just posted with Teairra Whack, where she's rapping over the Jigga What beat, she's in the pocket so stupid.
Right.
Like, she keeps getting in the pocket in different type of ways. That's the type of rap that I fuck with.
You fuck with.
That when I see that you understand that, when I see you understand pockets, when I see that that's when I'm in my this what we
something
talking
serious,
about. Yeah, we talking about this, right? And you know, Big was that all the time. That's all I could say. He was that all the time.
What was the relationship like you guys, like, what between you and Big?
I mean, you know, it's just cool, like Big, but he was a studier. You know what I mean? He was studying me without me paying attention to him studying me. He was studying the fact that Brat was having a better run than him at the time. And he probably was in his mind with like...
Because Juicy wasn't, and this is something else, a lot of people don't remember this, is Juicy came out, and Juicy is a classic now, but as far as the radio and the singles that was jumping, Funktified was making more of an impact.
Well, in the areas that we was going, we was doing the Chitlin circuit, right?
Okay.
And on the Chitlin circuit, you doing like, you know, Miami, you doing like these little country cities or whatever. Yeah. And, you know, Brat record was buzzing a little bit more. Craig Mack record was huge in all these places.
That was a fucking killer.
But Brat record was the second one that was buzzing right next to the Craig Mack. And then Bone Thugs and Harmony was on a couple of these shows, and they was killing shit out there. And
which Bone Thugs project was
the
this?
First one.
This was like
the first one.
The Thuggish Ruggers Bone joint, the little EP that they had put out.
Yeah, the first one. And Juicy was good, and people were saying like, he's dope rapper. Yeah. But his song wasn't connecting the way everybody else's song was connecting, and he saw that, right? And he figured that it had something to do with the person, and he also he was trying to figure it out. So he thought it was about me being involved that could get him to where he wanted to go. Right. So he gravitated towards me, and we started talking. And when we started talking, it was all about creative, because I could listen to him and understand. This guy know what he's doing. You know what I mean? I know he knows exactly what he's doing. But me being from the South and him being from New York, the beat selection was a lot different. Right? I was already on the 808s in Atlanta.
And they didn't have none of that going up in New York.
That wasn't New York. They was primo beats than 808 driven. Yeah. I knew in Atlanta, the guys that was buying my mixtapes, they was buying the mixtapes because I had that 808 on the mixtapes. Right? So when I made my records, that's the thing I was paying attention to. I'm going to put this 808 in this record. If you go back and listen to Escape Just Kicking It, it's all 808. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. It's all 808, like every song. Yeah. That's what I was doing, because from selling mixtapes, this is what the people wanted to have the songs. So when I was listening to producers like Primo, I'm like, they must don't have the same type of systems in New York that the guys in Atlanta got, right? And that's kind of where our conversations was. Biggie wanted to get in that space, and he wanted to be the guy that was the bridge for both, where you could listen to a Primo beat and also have a song with Bone Thugs and Harmony. And as you saw, he started doing that. He started making records with everybody.
Well, I remember when Life in 1472 came out. I know you gotta go. I'm gonna ask you just a couple more questions. When it came out, one of the reviews, because I'll never read them now, because whatever, but back then, you would get an album, and then at the same time, you would read what the source had to say, right? And one of the reviews of the album, I remember the person, I'll never forget this, the person writing the review said not only was the album dope, but they said surprising, and I think it was maybe delightful or something else, lyrical versatility shown by Jermaine Dupri. That was basically them saying, oh shit, Jermaine Dupri, not just a producer, but can actually really, really rap. First of all, is rapping something, just the lyrical part, just rapping, not even the whole music, is rapping something that did you care to be ranked amongst other guys that rapped?
I'm a producer. That's who I care to be known as a producer, but I can rap when I want to. And if I have to. And if I'm pushed to rap better than I usually rap, I can do that too. Right. You know what I mean?
So, like, amongst, I know exactly what you mean. Amongst the producer rappers, was it ever competitive? Did you ever listen to No Way Out and be like, nah, I got more bars than that? Did you ever listen to any of the other guys?
Nah, because we all was different. We all different. You know, Dr. Dre don't rap like I rap. So I never listened to they records and be like, psh, you know what I'm saying? I never. I mean, I feel like all producers that have the ability to make rap records and do that, we are the most creative in the bucket of creators because we have the ability to do that when we want to. And we have the ability to make a song with people whose whole careers is just to rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I never, I mean, you know, like I said, I feel like that's an interesting quote. I mean, from the thing about my album, I never seen that before. I will say before I came over here, I was thinking about how people discredit me, right? Mm-hmm. And we talked about this before. I was like, people get mad at me for saying the truth. Or, I guess, saying what other people tell me.
JD, people are always going to be mad at the truth.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's really, really weird because it's like even like the Outkast thing, right? So since I said that at Hot 97, I've been seeing people post it and they're saying, oh, Jermaine says he's more influential than Outkast. We just cleared up why I said that, right?
Yeah.
So then the other part is, it's people, just like you said, you was coming to Atlanta because the strip clubs, because of, you heard it from me.
That's what you were supposed to do.
Right? Mm-hmm. I've had people tell me all the time, that Jay-Z wasn't popping in the South before they heard Money Anything.
Okay. So, from my experience, this is what I will say. So, in Baton Rouge, amongst my group of friends, Money Anything was the song of the. I can't remember when the record dropped, but I feel like it was the summer. So that was we was listening to it over and 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 over again, right? The video, the whole nine, it was a wave. That was the first time I would say that Ho felt relatable to me, because I was listening to Jay when I didn't listen to Dead Presidents came out. For some reason, all the hip hop heads gonna go crazy. But for some reason, when Dead Presidents would come on Rap City, I would change that shit. I don't know, for some reason I wasn't fucking with it. But then I wasn't. Not at first, I wasn't. But then I never forget this. I was asleep and like laying down on the couch sleep, and I heard on the TV, fill the glasses, the top of Moet. Feel the legs pushing out. And I popped out the melody of that song. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? And then I looked on the video and I'm like, oh shit, is that Jay-Z guy? And by this point, this was a little deeper into the realm, and I listened to it, and he was in the whole video they had, and he was going so hard on that shit. I was like, yo, I gotta listen to it. So I went and listened to it. Then, Volume 1 comes out, and I'm listening to all of this, and it was all great, right? All of that stuff was great, but it wasn't like, I was like, this nigga feels like one of us. And the first time it felt relatable to where I feel like I didn't just want to listen to Jay-Z, that maybe a little bit I wanted to be Jay-Z, was in Money Anything. I'll give you that. But for me,
see, no, I'm not saying.
No, I'm not. I know. But for me, when I felt like Jay-Z really made the declaration that he was fucking with the South, was when he showed up on the High remix. When he showed up on the High remix, which is a horrible Jay-Z verse, by the way. When he showed. It's just, I mean, me and Joe, shout out to Joe Button. Me and Joe already went back and forth about this on this podcast. Like, it's not a great Jay-Z verse. Jay-Z is a god, all of that, but niggas have bad situations. That was not the greatest verse. But when he showed up on that, that's when I was like, that's Juvenile before superstardom, and he's on that song with him. He's talking directly to us. So for me personally, in our part of the little South, in Baton Rouge, maybe even New Orleans, that's when I kind of felt like, okay, of course, then, Big Pimpin' and all of that stuff like that. And then he was real. When you saw up on the record with UGK, now those are really Southern gods. Now you really out of here. But I will admit that the first time I'm like, yo, man, I want to do what these guys are doing. This seems great. Like, this seems whatever was Money Anything.
Okay, so he gave y'all the longest introduction to saying him.
This is my podcast, JD. This is what I do on my podcast.
Listen,
I'm long-winded.
Listen.
Yeah.
My point is, that's an arguable thing that people keep arguing. Like, that's a debate that people keep having.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I never said this.
All right.
That's why I tell you before, I feel like everything I do, people got something to try to say about.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay-Z was popping for you. Yeah, he was. That's why I put him on the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was popping before Money in the Thing. That's why he got him on the song.
Yeah.
That's duh. Fuck is going on?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
It's just, but when somebody else says it, and then it's said, then it just becomes this debate. And I think it's just Jermaine Dupri, the Jermaine Dupri debate. It just happens. Just like you said, this show we having now,
yeah.
God knows what's gonna come out of this.
Like I'll put it I listen. I'm saying you listen to the whole thing. I tell people all this time it's weird coming from me, but read the body. Like the headline is great. Read the body. There's an art to cooking these headlines, man. There's an art to it. I'm telling you. If it's a message to anyone, if you want to be outraged and you want to be triggered, read a headline. If you want to get smarter, read the body, watch the video. Like get the context of what was said. If you want to run around here like a goddamn idiot, post headlines up without actually reading them, without actually going into and seeing exactly what people said and what people meant. Make your heart hard and make your blood pressure rise. But if you read a lot of this stuff and you get into it, and this is coming from the guy who works at the place, I'm telling you, watch the video, read the fucking article if you want to be smarter. If you want to get manipulated, do the other thing.
Yeah.
Now, last question I'll ask you. I know y'all gotta go. I appreciate the time. I know it's kind of hectic because we're watching the documentary tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be? That's a private engagement.
Yeah,
we can't tell nobody.
It's a private engagement.
No, I'm good to come though.
Yeah.
I'm good to come.
I guess you might not like it now that you're trying to.
What? Like am I, right. You know, I might go, but you know what? Maybe I can't come. Maybe I gotta go out. Maybe I gotta go out and get a bezel.
Oh God!
Because I know what a bezel is now. You know what I'm saying? Get with a bezel. There's an apology that people give, right? And the apology goes like this: if in fact, that's not what I said, that's not what I meant, but if in fact I offended anyone, my bad. Was there any point that you felt the need to at least? Was there any point that you felt the need to say that?
No, I never felt the need to say that.
Okay.
But I mean, I will say it now. If I offended anyone,
right,
that was definitely not my intention.
Wasn't what you was.
Yeah, that's not. I like I said, I was not in the mindset that we was supposed to be talking about all female rappers. Mm-hmm. That's why I said when I see people coming out and they dissing me, and I like you wasn't even on like. Not a thought. What's less than a thought? Like whatever that was. JD, okay. Whatever that was, yeah. I'm just saying. You wasn't even that. Mm-hmm. In my by the way, that's not a diss. I'm saying what's less than a thought. I want you to know how much I was not thinking about that subject matter, period.
Yeah.
Right? So to act like it was a bullet shot and you doing like this, mm-hmm. I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. I don't. But like I said, if you feel like what I said took you in that direction, my bad. I wasn't. That's not what I was trying to do.
Yeah. So now that we all connected and stuff like that, everybody. First of all, I want.
But by the way, not to cut you off, every one of these girls, they gonna be like, don't try to goddamn get out of it now.
Listen, I think you stood on your heel. Like, look. I don't think you tried to get out of anything. What I was just asking is, you know, especially as men, as brothers. Sometimes we say stuff, and the reason why I went so in depth on it is because sometimes we say stuff or we give, and they might be completely valid opinions. Most opinions are completely valid. Most opinions come from people's experience. It's very hard to tell somebody that their experience is invalid, especially someone that's had the wealth of experiences that you have in this music industry and stuff like that. Sometimes we say things and we don't know, like even happened to me, like what other people are really going through. Like it's probably a lot of sisters, a lot of female rappers that are beating their head against the wall and they got bars, right? They got bars, Jermaine. And they don't know why it's not happening for them. They don't know why. They know that they out rapping not only women, they out rapping a bunch of the men out here. Mm-hmm. they're expressing their talent so at such a high level, and they feel invisible, right? They feel invisible. They feel like no one's seeing them. So when you come along and something comes up, they go, yo, I'm over here, man. What you're saying is not true because I'm right here. Why don't you see me? And then that's when you get that outpouring of emotion. And so a lot of that is kind of what you said earlier. A lot of that is not even like I wanted to bring a debate to you. I had a specific topic. I wanted to know if you felt equally about it, right? So a lot of that is them bringing their experience to the table there. That doesn't mean that it's not valid and that we shouldn't kind of lean into what it is that they're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, I do want to say this before we finish. That one of the things that really pissed me off about this whole thing is that I seen people saying girls saying I'm sexist, and I'm hating on female rap.
Misogynist or something like that.
Misogynist. That's far from the truth, far from anything I'm thinking about. Right? Yeah. And then they was like, you just mad because female rappers are having success.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's go back to the person who, by the way, let's clear this up. This is another debate that I seen people want to argue about. It's no fucking debate. Da Brat is the first female rapper who sold 1 million records. It's no debate. Ain't no question. Ain't no let's figure. It's no debate, right? Let's stop talking about that shit because that's how this got to where it got to. I brought that up and I said Da Brat kicking that door in is what made this possible for females to do what females are doing right now. Niggas took that and ran with it like I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Right.
Right? That's a 100% fact. And people got to stop acting like you can find something else to talk about when I say that. This is a real situation. Da Brat sold 1 million records plus without being naked. Without talking like that. Without doing whatever. She sold lyrical content. She sold where she was from. She sold style. A whole bunch of things. This happened. So for people to say I'm hating on females and their success is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, we're going to leave it there. Nah, I'm saying, man, we're going to leave it there. Glad you had to say, white people clap for Jermaine Dupri. Clap for Jermaine Dupri. All right, listen, bro. I'm going to go get this bezel. I'm going to see you at the party. Listen, I think, I'm going to be honest with you. I see no reason why. We went back and forth a little bit.
No, I mean, it's good.
But we're trying to get it out.
Like I said, I seen something in doing this.
Yeah.
I feel like I can help.
Right.
I feel like I have helped this genre. I feel like I've done a great part. I produced MC Lyte. I produced Da Brat. I produced Lil' Kim. I've had a very nice hand in pushing females in the right direction to be successful. So if something happened that made people feel like I wasn't trying to do that, then I'm trying to make sure people understand that's definitely not the case. So
and going forward, you're gonna be working with more women. I see that you have I want to make sure you get a chance to plug that.
Well, that's not. By the way, I want to make sure that people know that cipher is not for me. The cipher is for the females to actually showcase what they doing. Because I feel like we don't see that. When you talk about what the males do, now if I go into that, I told the girl TT Torres on Hot 97, let these females, when I do this cipher and the internet says who's the hottest 5, let them 5 rappers go to the radio station and get on the air with Flex and just rap for like 2 hours. Do something we haven't seen. We haven't seen that. I've never seen that. I seen Meek Mills do it. I seen
Flex got a lot of freestyles with female rappers, though.
Yeah, but not a cipher.
Not a whole group of
I'm talking about a group of different females up there going. One go, next go, this one go. And the world can see what everybody thought I should have been telling, right? That's what my cipher is about. I want people to understand that. But I feel like we don't have the outlets anymore that would possibly do this. Ain't no MTV Raps. Ain't no The Basement, right? So somebody got to create these platforms for this rap type of stuff to live. And that's all I thought I would do. You know what I mean? Give them a platform, post it. I see everybody talking on my page anyway, so that's where the activity at.
All right, my brother.
All right,
brother. We out of here. We out.